And I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, John Eick. He's the Westlake Executive Director of Westlake Charter School. You can read all of those wonderful things about him, but I think more importantly, what I want to tell you is I was fortunate to see John Eick speak at CAPQ conference this past fall. And what a phenomenal individual. Not only does he speak all over the nation to schools and organizations, but he also walks his talk. As a leader, he's done phenomenal things at his site. He was a principal in Natomas for 8 years and has now gone on to be the executive director of a very successful charter school in the area. And when I saw him in October, I was like, oh my God, this guy is energetic, he's enthusiastic, but most importantly, he's authentic. He's the genuine, real deal. Everyone give a round of applause for John Eick.
Thanks for the intro, Jess. That's good looking out. Hey, everybody, good morning. Before we even get, the whole gig started and start reading slides and talking talk, I just got to say, I'm, hashtag, and honored to be gigging with Roseville today. I'm a 20-year educational vet, right? I've been around the block more times than the paper boy. I'm in Sacramento my whole career, and we all talk. We go to conferences, you're talking to somebody, you find out where they're from, you know where the good districts are, you're like, oh, that district's all right. And you know where the districts are, like, they pay a lot. I mean, that's cool. And your name comes up and everybody's like, because you guys are doing some cool stuff here, Roseville's kind of on fire. Everywhere I go, people are talking about you, and you're out there too. I go out to conferences, I see you there. I see you presenting at conferences. So wherever I go, I'm like, hey, I'm always looking for those districts that are kind of doing something a little different and doing something a little right. So I'm uber honored to be here. I think you guys are on point. I love the topic for the day. I love that you guys at Roseville are talking about EQ2, which I didn't know what that was, right? But you're talking about emotional intelligence, you're talking about empowering kids, you're talking about kids, which is kind of what we should be talking about, right? I mean, as the pendulum swings across the state of California, everybody's chasing down the rabbit hole like accountability and new dashboards with color codes and, all kinds of new tools. Roseville's talking about kids. That's good stuff. I think truly everybody in this industry got into this industry for the right reason. I don't think industry got here for summers off. That's what everybody thinks we did. But everybody got into this industry because they got in for they either love the content or they love kids. And if you love kids and you got into school teaching because you did kids, then we're talking about the right thing. We're talking about EQ2. We're talking about empowering kids. Now let's talk about kids, right? I mean, I know tools are important because they help us get our job done, and data is important because it tells us how we did our job. And a lot of districts around are only talking about tools and data. But the truth is, tools don't teach kids, right? Teachers teach kids. So let's talk about teachers, let's talk about kids, and the tools are important, and we'll do some work on that, and the data is important too. But you guys are talking about kids, and I think that's legit. Let's talk about kids for a second. We love them. Kids are awesome. They energize us, but let's be real truthful. They're vampires, right? They will suck the life out of you. If you're doing your job right, you're going home like this, you're like, what happened there, honey? The vampires got to me, right? You get all the way through 151 days of instruction, you get the spring break. That's not spring break, that's spring breakdown. You're like, they say the teachers make 1,500 decisions a day. Add that up for 151 days, that's almost 250,000 decisions in 150 days. You get the spring break, your spouse is like, what do you want for dinner? You're like, I can't make that decision. Let's just have McDonald's till July. I'll see you next year, right? So I think it's important that we come here today and we don't just talk about tools and talk about data because that's super important, but we talk about kids, and we talk about empowering kids, and we talk about equity for kids. But the thing is, I think it starts with talking about us, about how to fill our cup a little bit, how to empower us a little bit, how to make sure that the people in this room feel right so they can make the people in those rooms feel right. People ask me all the time, hey John, what makes a good school? I'll tell you what makes a good school. Happy teachers. You got happy teachers, you got happy kids. You got teachers who are innovating and creating and learning I'll bet you that kid who are innovating and creating and learning. You got teachers feeling down, look around. The kids are going to feel it too. So we talk about equity, when we talk about empowerment, I think it's okay to start with us. I guess that's a long introduction. Hi, I'm John. Guess that we should get started at some point. We'll clicky click. Here's what I want to talk about today. We're going to talk about equity, we're going to talk about empowerment, but we're going to first talk about placing the oxygen mask on your own face before you help those around you. At some point during your teaching career, there's going to be a bumpy ride, and the oxygen mask will deploy from the overhead compartment. Please place that mask on your own face before you help those around you. That if we help ourselves at the end of those long days, if we can lean on each other in the staff room, if we can be there for each other and empower each other, then we can all turn around and help those around us. So, click. Whoop, back that way. One more. This is super fun in front of all my new friends. Okay, well, we'll skip that last slide. It was there. It was extra anyway. There it is. Hey, that's me right there. I've been drawing that picture on desk since 5th grade. My wife said I gotta add the beard. It's new. I'm working it out. You tell me how it's working. That's me. I'm John Eick. That's my Twitter handle right there. Ooh, you can hit me on Twitter. I'll tweet you back to the stage. That's my website. I put all my slides on the website. I don't know if you noticed. I talk kind of fast. So at some point you might be like, what did that dude just say? I don't know. It's probably on his website. Like, you can go look it up. All my resources will be here today. And that's me. I'd love to talk with you today about what you do and the way you do it. I'd like to be a resource to you, so if you need me, reach out to me. But it's not about me. This is your show, this is your gig. What I'd love to do is this. Y'all came in today, you sat next to some of you are like, can I sit next to you? You found one person that you knew, and that's awesome, so you feel comfortable. We're gonna do some turning and talking today. We'll do some turn talks, so get comfortable with the people around you. Here's the deal though, when you came in, somebody sat behind you, they're staring at your bald spot, I got one. Or like you're staring at the back of somebody's head, you're like, I wonder who that is. Oh my God, that's you! I'd like to just give you 90 seconds, and I want you to make physical contact with 3 people. Physical contact, and when I say go, you check the person behind you. I saw a kiss back there, that was awesome. Hey, give somebody a high five, give somebody a handshake, give somebody a hug. You got 90 seconds. James, pump up the music. Back in 5, 4, 3, 2. Man, you don't have to ask twice. Like, you talk to a group of high school teachers like, hey, talk to each other. No problem. I love it. We'll just give you guys the 45 minutes. You just take off. Hey, let's dive in and take a look at what I'd like to talk about today. I think you guys are talking about the right conversation, and you're obviously doing the right work. Look at your district, you're doing amazing things. Your academic programs, your arts programs, your athletic programs, your cultural pieces. I want to talk about a cultural piece that's important to me. This culture of appreciation starts with us. It is appreciation amongst us that allows us to turn around and appreciate the work the kids are doing. There's too many of us in this industry that come in for 5 years and get out. There's too many people who jump into a high school teaching gig because they love content, they love kids, they work hard, they coach, they do some after school programs, they open their door at lunch, and 5 years in they're like, dude, I'm exhausted. Right? What I found is, in this industry, if you know somebody who's a longtime veteran, who seems a little burnt out, who's like, hey man, does Mr. Jones even like kids? Like, what's this dude doing here? I bet you Mr. Jones got into this industry for the right reason, worked his tail off, did lots of extra stuff, and didn't get recognized. And didn't get appreciated for all the extra he was doing. At some point, it's like, hey, I can't keep doing this extra. I got kids at home, right? So people burn out because the cultural appreciation is sometimes lacking. I'm going to talk today about building a culture of appreciation through the power of celebration and through the managing of change. They're two of my favorite topics. If you don't like them, take a nap. I'll be done in like 30 minutes. These two pieces are big for me. I'm going to dive right in. I might dive right in. Let's see it. Click, click, click. Whatever. The next slide just says the power of celebration. That's what it says. I want to start with the power of celebration because I truly believe in it. I've had a lot of experience in this area. I believe that if we take a look around, there's amazing things to celebrate amongst us. I believe is if we look around, the power of celebration is really that first step to appreciation. Appreciation is more than a token, it's more than a little certificate, it's more than a participation trophy in a 5-year-old soccer game. Appreciation is truly a two-way street. Appreciation is understanding somebody's situation, right? You look at somebody else working hard, doing something extra for kids, and you can celebrate them. Hey, good job, keep up that hard work. But the truth is to really appreciate them, you have to recognize that hard work that they're doing. Like, oh, I know who you're working with. Oh, I know what you're working on. I know the struggles you're facing. I've heard how hard it is. I can appreciate your situation. So culture of appreciation starts with celebration. Like, hey, I'm going to celebrate that hard work you're doing. In my 20-year career, about 12 years ago, I was standing in a line of teachers. I was a teacher. They said, who wants to be principal? Everybody else stepped back. I'm a RJUHSD. I wasn't paying attention. I was the last one standing. I said, oh, okay, I guess I'm in. And I became the principal of a large urban high school here in Sacramento. You probably know the joint, right? At that time, the recession was just hitting, and the school had gone from 26% free reduced lunch to 76% free reduced lunch. And the test scores were down, and graduation rate was down. There was violence on campus and in the community. It was a great time to become principal, right? I was like, oh, this is awesome. I looked out at the kids. They're all wearing red over here, blue over here. I'm like, that's not the school colors, right? Things were rough, you know? And I got to go to my teacher friends. I'm like, what are we going to do? Should we focus on test scores? Should we focus on culture? What do we do? And we decided, like, everybody at that school was working crazy hard. People were working hard in silos. Mrs. Smith was trying to start an after-school homework club. Mr. Jones has opened up his classroom doors super early in the morning for the kids who had track practice after school. Like, people were trying hard, but there was no collective efficacy. Exactly. I just had an idea. I'm going to save that one. Awesome. Take that with me. That school didn't have collective efficacy. Collective efficacy is the belief by a group of people that they can achieve that which they set out to do. You see, there's a lot of people working hard individually in silos, but we weren't working together as a team at that school because we were all run ragged, doing 1,000 things in 1,000 directions. So what we decided was, if anybody was doing anything good for kids, we were going to celebrate them. We're going to shout it from the rooftop. We're going to shout about the staff meeting, put a poster on the wall about it, put flyers on the windows of teacher cars, just to appreciate people individually for what they were doing. And what happened was, to make a long story short, over about 5 years, the culture of that school changed. It became okay to be one of the teachers at that school, that you weren't working in isolation, that you knew your friends had your back. What happened is I started to spread from the teachers to the kids, and all of a sudden, this culture became safe. It became an okay place to innovate and try new things and experiment and fail forward, and it was empowering for all of us who were there. API scores went up 100 points. California high school exit exam went up by double digits. The graduation rate went up. On-campus violence went down by 69%. We were written up in a Santa Barbara case study as a school who's beaten the odds with the students we had from poverty and the students at risk of failure. It was a cool time, a cool place to be, but it started with just celebration. So I learned a lot about moving cultures at schools. From that experience, I've kind of flown around and talked to schools about, hey, how can you start a culture of appreciation at your school? And it really starts that simply. Finding people in your school who are doing amazing things and shouting them out and celebrating them. Here's what I learned though. It turns out not everybody likes to be celebrated the same way. I thought everybody was like me. Like, come on down. Let me call you in front of everybody. Ta-da! Like, if I told you right now I had a big hat with all your names in it, I'm like, I'm going to pull the name out of the hat, and I'm going to celebrate you in front of everybody. Half of you were like, oh, this is awesome! Right? Some of you were like, calm me down on stage. Some of you are sweating right now. This is a fake invisible hat as I did this show. Don't pick me! It turned out that not everybody likes to be celebrated the same way. It turns out that some people are out there on social media. Any Twitter users out there? Ooh, can I get a little tweet, right? Some of you out there on Twitter, you're loving celebrating each other on Twitter. You're taking pictures of each other. You're posting the hashtag RJUHSD, and you put it out there on Twitter sphere. And if you like that kind of celebration, you're like, yeah, you took my picture. You put me on Twitter. I feel celebrated. Some people are like, you took my picture? You put me on Twitter? I don't see appreciation. I just see a pair of pants I will never wear again. Are you kidding me? Right? Everybody likes to be celebrated in a different way. And what I recognized was the power of the Post-it note was as big as the shout out from center stage. I dropped some little goofy Post-it note. I drew a little picture on there. I said something silly about, hey, you're awesome. And I dropped it on a desk. Wasn't even thinking about it. And I came back and it was next to the phone. And that person and I worked together for the next 6 years. And it sat next to the phone. And I was like, why do you still have that? Oh my gosh, you are not being appreciated enough. If that Post-it note is going to hang around for 6 years, we need to get you more Post-it notes. So the idea is that this business is hard. We get siloed up. And the idea is it's hard to empower kids if we don't feel empowered to do great things. If you're doing something great and the person down the hall recognizes you for it, you will continue to do something great because we celebrate that which we wish to perpetuate. We celebrate that which we wish to perpetuate. If somebody's doing something good, you better celebrate them for it because it'll give them the energy to continue doing it and doing it again. So at that one high school that I was at, if you were doing something good, we shouted you out. Didn't even matter if it was working. We're like, oh, Mrs. Smith started the after-school homework center. That's awesome. Is anybody going? No, it's empty. But you know what? Yay for trying, right? But what I learned is not everybody likes to celebrate the same way. Some of you guys like to be thrown out on Twitter or Facebook. Some of you guys like a one-on-one conversation. Some people want to be shouted out in the staff meeting or the staff newsletter. And some of you are like, hey, why don't you just open my door and in front of my department, say something good about me in front of my department chair. Other people are like, hey, just come in my room or drop me an email or a Post-it note. What I would ask you to turn and talk on right now for just 90 seconds is this. Like, how do you like to be celebrated? Is it one of these ways? Do you have your own way? But this is important because it says something about you. So take 90 seconds, talk to your partner around you. How do you like to be appreciated? What fills your cup and fuels you to keep doing the good things you are doing? Whoop. Go now. James was rocking a little Motown. 15 seconds, 15 seconds. I'll bring it back in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Love it. I saw some smiles out there, some conversation. I saw you dancing. It's good. Oh, I just celebrated you out loud. I hope that's your preferred method. All right. So the deal is this. I believe the power of celebration is real. That if you are to celebrate that which you wish to perpetuate, you will celebrate your friends in this room at staff meetings and via email and via Post-it notes, and you will energize each other to keep doing the things you're doing. But here's the deal. If we celebrate together, we develop a culture of appreciation, but we develop a collective efficacy. If you hear that Mrs. Smith is getting celebrated for what she's doing and Mr. Jones is getting celebrated for what he's doing, then you'll recognize, hey, we're all being appreciated. We're appreciating one another. And we have a collective sense that we are doing something, that we are moving in a direction, that we do have a mission that we're following. Because working in isolation never, ever builds a sense of collective anything. Working in isolation without appreciation never moves a culture together. So this is what makes me think, like, okay, if the idea is you see me doing something good for kids and you take an opportunity to celebrate that which you think should perpetuate, you've now empowered me to turn around and keep doing what I was doing. You caught me doing something good, and then you empowered me to continue doing that goodness. And so it makes me think, like, how do we personalize celebrations in the classrooms for the kids? The kids aren't that much different than us. If you hate sitting in a quiet staff meeting and getting called out from the back row as a celebration, there's probably a kid in your class who's like, oh, I'm just like you. Don't call me out. You walk across your classroom and you're like, hey, this girl right here, she's like a model student, she's amazing. So I want to celebrate her, but she's kind of quiet. That kid, you put her on blast from the front of the classroom and go, you're awesome. She's like, I'm cutting this class tomorrow. I'm definitely cutting tomorrow. For sure. It'll be my first cut ever. Do not call me out in front of everyone, right? She doesn't need that spotlight, but she needs to be appreciated. So hey, might be the first post-it note that kid's like, what? Should have put it next to her phone. No, we don't have phones on walls anymore. Hey, what if you caught some kid at the whiteboard doing a math problem, right? And that kid's up there doing it right or wrong, just trying hard. You grab your phone, you took a little picture, maybe just their hand, and you're like, hey, do you mind if I tweet this out? Hashtag this kid is awesome. The kid's like, what? You've got like 2,000 Twitter followers. My hand's gonna be famous. Like, kid feels appreciated for what? For trying, right? We celebrate that which we wish to perpetuate. That kid's gonna want to try again. This kid over here, if you don't give him the spotlight at some point, he's gonna take it. I know, because I was that kid. If you don't give him the spotlight and celebrate him with the spotlight, he's just gonna take the spotlight, and then you won't want to celebrate him. You'll want to kick him out. So my challenge to you is this, like, how do you go across your classroom and be like, you need this, you need a little, just email, here's a, and you, and this kid, celebrate this kid out loud. Put it in your lesson plan. You're like, how am I going to catch this kid in the spotlight doing something awesome, which might buy me 12 minutes of instruction? Like, I might just be able to buy 12 minutes if I can get to him before he gets to them, right? So put in your lesson plan. Be like, hey, everybody, what day is it? Saturday, Monday. That's right, hey, you're the man, dude. You always know what day it is. You know what I love about you? You're so calendar-minded. You know what I'm saying? Find a way to celebrate that joke. Even if he's the guy that comes in late, you know, we're cracking a wisecrack joke, just be like, hey, you interrupted stuff. Let me give you this is the compliment sandwich, right? You know the compliment sandwich. This is the celebration sandwich. You start with the celebration, you throw in the meat, and you end with a celebration. Kid comes dragging in late, and hey, I gotta tell you what, that wisecrack you just dropped on the way in here, you got jokes. You're funny. Your timing is like, you know, I believe someday you're going to be in a powerful position. You're probably a lawyer or a salesperson or a politician where your words are going to get you where you're going. You're awesome. Hey, just a side note though, when you come straggling in and you interrupt everybody's like learning, it just kills the culture of the class. You're so good, I'm going to grant you one joke a day. Just use it wisely because you're awesome. Compliment sandwich with a little bit of redirection in the middle, but do it in, like, give kids the celebration they need, whether it's quiet or whether it's on the spotlight. Meet kids at the door. Dude, are those shoes new? Well, you asked me that yesterday. They still look good. You can always point to a shoe, right? Like, hey, the shoes are cool. They're flip-flops. I love flip-flops, right? Kids don't get an appreciation, so when you give it to them, they're like, whoa, what's going on? Is there a test today? Right? But you want to change that culture, change that classroom to a culture of appreciation so they feel like, hey, I'm being appreciated for what I'm bringing to the equation, whether I'm passing or failing, that's regardless. It's about our relationship and how I fuel that. I'll move on. Some of you are like, well, hey, this sounds cool. You do what you do, John. I'm going to keep doing what I do. Why celebration? I know that in this district, you guys maybe talked about Dr. Carol Dweck and the power of yet and her amazing book, Mindset. This is, she's out of Stanford. Just for a quick checkup from the neck up. If you don't remember Carol Dweck, I'll drop a little Carol Dweck on you. She is an amazing researcher out of Stanford, and she says that the most powerful word in the English language is the word yet. That the word yet unlocks pathways to potential futures. That if you can't do something, you just can't do something yet. And that's a powerful statement for learners. And as teachers, we're learners, and our kids are learners. And if we can believe in the power of yet, Carol Dweck says that's going to unlock all the potential learning that we ever need. She says she went and tested groups of 5th graders. She gave 5th graders tests they couldn't possibly pass, which is super inhumane. That's like cruel. That's cruel experimentation on children. She gave 5th graders tests that were just a little too hard for them, and then she watched what happened. And she said 2 groups of kids developed. The first group was the fixed mindset group. She said these kids took the test, they couldn't pass the test, they're kind of grade grubbers, so they're kind of like, hey, I can't pass this test. Are you calling me dumb? Is this test judging me? I feel judged. Are you saying I'm not smart? Look, I took this test, I couldn't pass it, I feel dumb, I was looking for a good grade, I got a bad grade, I hate this. Right? She said, hey, what would you do if you had to take this test again? These kids said, I would probably cheat. Right? Some of the kids said, if I had to take this test again, I would probably try to find somebody who scored lower than me and then compare myself to them so that I would feel good about myself, right? Kids were out for the grade, right? Who were just there for like, is this going in the grade book? That fixed mindset of when I hit a barrier that I can't overcome, I just stop and go, well, you put the wrong barrier in front of me. The other group of kids were the kids with a growth mindset. These kids over here met the challenge of the test. Like, hey, this test is kind of interesting. You know, that problem right there reminds me of a problem I had before. But I tried that strategy. That didn't really work. It was kind of interesting. She strapped a little brain neuron scanner device to the kids, and she found that these kids, when they met a challenge, their brain chemistry lit up. That when they met a challenge they couldn't meet, they were actually getting smarter. They were carving neural pathways toward future success. They were trying things and learning things. They were actually learning through failure. Whereas these kids' brain chemistry saw a problem they couldn't solve and went total shutdown. So the idea is this. Carol Dweck says the most powerful part is you can actually change kids from this side of the house to that side of the house. And it's true for all of us. You know that we have fixed mindsets about certain things. Some of you are like, hey, I love this content. I'm a growth mindset person in this area. But you want me to do what? Go rock climbing this weekend? Yeah, I can't do it. Right? I'm fixed on the ground. I'm cool. Right? The idea is that some kids come into school and they've got a fixed mindset about school. They come in and they're like, hey, I'm just not a school person. I mean, it's cool. Thanks for being nice to me, but I'm not a school person. They're fixed in the idea that intelligence is static. That you either have it or you don't, that it can't be grown. Carol Dweck says, hey, praise wisely. Use celebration, use appreciation, use individual formative feedback. Praise wisely, and you can move human beings from this side of the house to this side of the house. She says, don't praise smart. Oh, you're so smart. As soon as I call this kid smart, this kid over here is like, well, I didn't get called smart, so I'm not. Praise effort. Praise strategy. Praise attempts. Hey, that was an awesome attempt. You put a comma right there at the title. Don't put the comma there. That's wrong. But it was an awesome attempt. Put the comma over here. It's the idea that you tried something. It's the idea that you went up and made an effort. It's the idea that you persevered. It's the idea that you were making attempts to learn. Now, that's not lowering the bar, and it's not saying that, like, just give away a participation award and everybody gets a B. It's saying praise people for the right things. So when you see kids in your class who are trying, that is the time to pour it on. Don't just praise outcome, praise process. It doesn't just go for kids. This is brain research about us. If you have a department member, a friend, a colleague on teaching on your row who is getting to that point of their career where they're like, what's this? A what? A Chromebook? We got tons of books in the library. What's wrong with the paper books? I'm cool. I got the filing cabinet right here. It's filled with, I've been using this worksheet since 2003. It was good then, it's good today. Like, if you know somebody who's got a fixed mindset about any potential growth, figure out ways to praise effort and try and move people in the direction that they actually want to be, because the research says that they're happier over here in a growth mindset. So I would ask you this. Don't blow anybody up. Don't call anybody out. But, click. As you go back to school tomorrow, there's kids and staff all around you who are working incredibly hard, possibly in silos, and are not getting the appreciation or the praise that they probably need to fuel them through to summer and continue to fuel them for their career. So I want to ask you, who needs some celebration? I've been following your district on Twitter, and you guys are doing some amazing stuff. You got a coach of the year out there who's getting celebration. The school plays are looking amazing. Right? You guys are killing it. But I want you to also look for those people who aren't getting blown up at the high level. We celebrate the big stuff on Twitter because that's sexy, right? What I wonder is, who's that person who comes in at 6 a.m. and opens their door? That's never on Twitter. It's never on Twitter. You're like, Mrs. Smith called home the night before an exam to remind the mom to tell the kid to get ready. It's just not a very good Twitter post. But that's the person that you need to be like, that's the type of effort that's happening in silos that we need to celebrate in a community so we'll continue to perpetuate that type of behavior. So I'm going to give you 90 seconds. I'm going to play some Motown. I'm going to ask you to tell your people around you who are a couple people who need some celebration because they're doing stuff that you know about but nobody else knows about, or maybe they don't know that anybody's recognized. Who are you going to celebrate? Go now. 90 seconds. Just 10 seconds, 10 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, I gotta tell you something just happened. I just watched a lady back here turn and say, like she said, and the person said, that was awesome. Like somebody's like, who are you gonna celebrate? And a woman said, it's great. Thank you for doing that. Oh, it's nice. It's good. Down in front row. Hey, I told you I want to talk about creating a culture of appreciation through the power of celebration and the managing of change. I hope you're getting the rap that I'm talking about. That appreciation is about recognizing the people around you and appreciating and celebrating them so you fill their cup and keep them moving in the same direction they were working towards. I want to talk about managing change because I think it's one of my favorite topics, and I think it's probably the one topic that is universal and ubiquitous across every school I've ever been to. I think as educators, we are change agents. We are managers of change. No other industry is constantly have a pendulum swing like the field of education. We're all racing toward new standards, and then they're going back this way now. We're all racing toward new forms of accountability. We're like, go back this way, okay? Like, from the top down, from the state level, from the national level, this industry is all about change. But it's not just a change that happens to us as educators. It's a change that happens through us. Like, you change people for a living. That's what education is. That's what learning is. Learning is change. You take a kid who doesn't know something, and then they know something. You just change somebody. You are change managers. You're change agents. You facilitate change for a living, and it's exhausting. That's why we make so many decisions during the day. Our internal monologue is always trying to figure out what's the best way to make the next change. So this thing called change management or managing change is a big deal to us because every one of you is doing it. And if you're doing it in isolation, it's easy to get burnt out. And if you're getting celebrated and appreciated for the hard work you're doing, it fuels your fire. About 10 years ago, a colleague, a mentor of mine, Dan King, an amazing character, he said, hey John, if you want to make change, you need 3 things. The first thing you need is a desired state. You need to know where you're heading. It's a guiding light. It's a North Star. You need to have a desired state, like somewhere you want to be. It can't be right here, one step away, like, oh, look, I lost 1 pound. That was awesome, right? It's got to be far enough away where it's a desired state, somewhere you want to be. And then you have to have, number two, you have to have a checkup from the neck up. You need to have a reality checkpoint that says, hey, what's my current reality? So you need a desired state, and you need to understand your current reality. We're all educators here. We're talking about empowerment and equity for kids. Maybe you're like, hey, my desired state is, my real true desired state is someday in my classroom, I want kids using the 4 C's of collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, and communication in such a way that they're able to manifest their own demonstration of mastery, that they get to select how they output their learning, that they're going to choose their own learning pathway. I'm going to step off the sage on the stage model and be the guide on the side and just watch these kids learn into my desired state. My current reality is tomorrow we're all going to be on page 271. We're going to do the odd problems. And there is no shame in having a current reality. There's only shame in not moving toward your desired state. There's only shame in not making effort, right? So pick a desired state that's real for you, and then be real on your reality check, on your checkup for the neck up. It's okay for other people to help design a desired state for you. People can give you ideas on what a desired state might look like. And people love to help you do your current reality check, right? They're like, well, let me tell you about your current reality, right? People love to do that. But what they can't do is they can't manage your change for you. So my mentor said you need to have a desired state, you have a current reality, and then all you're armed with is a rubber band. And what you got to do is take that rubber band, try one new thing, one technique, one step toward your desired state. And you can only stretch that rubber band so far because that rubber band is change. When you feel the tension, you know it's working. Change creates tension. It's not easy. So you try one new technique, one new strategy, one new thing that's moving you toward your desired state. And you've been to that PD before where someone said, hey, that's your desired state. Here's your current reality. Let's take that rubber band. Wah! Snap that rubber band, hurt your hand. You're like, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm going to take this old worksheet from 2003. We're just going to go back. That's fine. I don't need to change. I don't need to stretch. Somebody tries to stretch your rubber band too far, too fast. It doesn't work. You're in charge of your rubber band. You're in charge of your chain. Somebody can help you there. Somebody can help you here. What you do is you take one stretch of the rubber band in the direction that you want to change. And you hold it there. And you let the tension do its work. And what will eventually happen is that one new technique, that strategy, that thing will become a habit. And all of a sudden it'll become less tense and it'll be easier to do. And you just grab another change. And then what happens is, before you know it, you're moving down toward your desired state, and it's not going to happen overnight, it's not going to happen all at one time, but what happens is along the way, these incremental steps, you're in charge of this. Now, some of you have like these crazy growth mindsets. I see some of your conferences, you got like bungee cords, you're like, check me out. You can stretch. Some of you have like me, remember those rubber bands you had on your braces? You know? You're like, oh man, that's it, that's all I got. Oh, that's it, that's all the stretch. I'm stretched. Right? And the longer you go without feeling appreciated, the smaller your rubber band gets. Is that true? The harder you work, and the more you think, hey, that's all I got. And that's okay. If that's all you got, stretch it. And then go, I got, what is that? Right? The idea is this, right? If you have people in your organization heading toward a desired, take that! If you have people in your organization heading toward a desired state, they're stretched. They're working hard. I would bet there's not a person in this room who hasn't worked hard this year. Everyone has a different elasticity. Everyone has a different stretch. The idea of creating a culture of appreciation is looking around and appreciating where people are stretched. What are you working on right now that's got some tension in your classroom or in your career, in your job? And if your colleagues in your department were able to go, hey, I recognize that stretch. And they'll be able to appreciate you for it. And if they appreciate how hard you're working, it's the fuel that makes you go, hey, I'll hold on. Because the problem is if you're stretching in isolation, it's like, I'm going to try that. Yeah, check it. This is hard. But if your department chair, your friend down the hall, your administrator, somebody you know knows how hard you're working, and they appreciate that, it's going to give you the fuel to hold on and move you in that direction. So what I would ask you, because I love to listen to you talk, is this. Like, where have you been growing and stretching this year? What's an initiative, a tool, a technique, a relationship? A relationship. Just building one relationship with that kid might be where you're stretching. Where have you been stretching this year, and does anyone else know that's what your stretch is? Does anybody else recognize or understand the work you're doing around that piece? I'll just give you 90 seconds. I promise we're almost done. Go now. 90 seconds. Where have you been stretched this year? I'll give you 10 seconds, 10 seconds. I'll bring you back in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, I told you today we're going to start creating a culture of appreciation through the power of celebration and managing change. What this makes me think, though, is if each of us is stretching, and we have to respect when someone is at the edge of their stretch, then when you approach a colleague and they're like, hey, I'm already there, then we have to go, okay, I get that. But the same thing holds true for our kids. How do we manage the stretch in our classroom? Like, I get it, it's tough, but the reality is this kid came in 3 years ahead of the curriculum, this kid's 5 years behind. And that makes it tough for us. We gotta differentiate and let someone under the bad word in some circles. The deal is this. We have to be able to look out at the sea of children and be like, look, we're all doing this today. I get it. You're gonna do this, and I'm gonna be okay with that. And I'm not talking about lowering expectations for kids. I'm just saying, like, hey, don't ask this kid to do this. Because it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me and you. I'm sure it doesn't work for that kid. And so we got these fixed mindset of kids who walk into school and they're like, hey, ever since about 5th grade, I can't do what everybody else can do. Even the smallest stretch for everybody else is the largest stretch for me, and so I'm done. So I'm going to entertain myself other ways. But what if we created a culture where we understood the fixed mindset could change into the growth mindset? If we said to kids at the door, hey, welcome to class, good to see you. Hey, real quick, Johnny, and we're all going to be doing this today, and that's cool. I want you to just do this. And if you do this, I'm going to celebrate you, and I'm going to appreciate you, and I'm going to fill your cup with kudos for the work that you're doing, because that's your work. You can do this work, and I believe in you. And when they do, they get the affirmation that they are accomplishing that what's been set before them, and they start to go, hey, maybe the power of yet is real. Don't ask the kid to do this, because you and I couldn't either. Malcolm Gladwell has a great piece on this, and I'll end with it today, and it's this. He says, we can train our brains. This book, Blink, one of my favorite books by Gladwell, he says, we have an immediate, in a blink of an eye, perception of another human being. We immediately, through a thing called thin slicing or rapid cognition, have an opinion about another person. And for this kid who walks into our school, they walk in and look at teachers, they're like, those guys are always wanting me to do this. I can only do this. I get no appreciation or celebration for this, so I'm out. Imagine what would happen if that kid walked into our school and could create a new neural pathway through multiple exposures. Through time and time again, that kid is being asked, hey, I will celebrate you for this. And what happens is when you get celebrated for something you can accomplish, your elasticity actually grows. So this kid who starts off with the braces, the little rubber band, gets celebrated for that, and a month later, and a couple months later, and all of a sudden, They're able to grow and move from fixed to growth mindset because they've had multiple exposures of somebody saying, I will meet you where you are, I will empower you to do this work, and I will celebrate you when you do it because I appreciate you. If that kid saw one teacher do that all year long, it could shift that kid's mindset. But if that teacher had if that kid had 5 teachers doing that, those multiple exposures could be the only thing that changes that student's self-perception from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So I'm ending on that note that I wanted you guys to talk about creating a culture of appreciation through the power of celebration and through managing change. Thank you for having me out today. I would ask you to do this. Start with the celebration. Go back to your site, find somebody to celebrate, find out how they like to be celebrated, and give them what they need to keep doing the work they're doing, because it starts with a culture of us. Right? The next thing is, be transparent. If you're working hard on something, tell people you're working hard on it so they have an opportunity to appreciate what you're going through. And the last piece is, throw a friend a life ring. If you got a friend who's working hard and trying some of this, and they're coming to the staff room frustrated, throw them a life ring. Give them a little celebration, give them a little appreciation, fill their cup so they can continue doing this kind of work to empower kids and build equity. Thanks for having me, everybody. My name is John Eick. Have a great day today.